Hey everyone, this is Demari. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I'm going to be doing the June 2020 Shadow Work Tarot reading for the sign of Scorpio. Please keep in mind this is a general reading, so it's not going to apply to each and every one of you. However, you can take a look at this month's reading in regards to your Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. So please take a look at your natal chart, see the corresponding zodiac placements, and see which signs, which video's title resonates for you at this time. So to begin with, I'll be using 3 oracle decks, pulling 1 card from each. To begin with, I'll be pulling from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck. We'll then move to the Angelarium Oracle deck, and then finally to the Moonology. And then with regards to the tarot messages, I'll be pulling from the Wild Unknown Tarot, and then getting further clarification from the Intuitive. So, Scorpio, let's see what the shadow aspect is revealing for you at this time. Just want to say a quick thank you to everyone who's been liking, commenting, subscribing, and even sharing my videos as well. It means a lot to me to have your support and to see how useful these messages have been for yourself, where they've applied. So thank you so much for taking the time to share your experience with me. I do read the comments, so I do really appreciate you taking the time to give me that feedback and to share how it's relevant to you. And yeah, it's great to have you a part of my growing online community. So don't be afraid to reach out to me on social media as well. You can find the links in my channel's header, so where the banner is. Okay, so let's have a look, see what the shadows are revealing at this time with all of these huge shifts taking place and transformative energies. So Scorpio, the card you got from the Dark Mirror Oracle deck was Parasite. Interesting. I have not pulled this card for a long time. So there's something that either you've been kind of utilizing for your own ends, or you feel like that someone has been taking advantage of you in some way, some shape or form. Parasite is a vampiric energy. It's something that drains the life force of another. So energetically, right? So there's something you either feel like, there's either some situation that you feel like has been draining you and depleting you, or you feel like there's someone who's been draining you and depleting you, or vice versa. Someone feels like you were the one doing this. But in this regard, I feel like this is something you feel like you're experiencing, right? So we'll see. We'll have a look as we continue. But that's what I'm getting from this so far, that you feel like you are being fed upon, right? That someone is draining you of your energy in order to sustain their own, right? So you may have... okay, I just got this. I feel like for some of you, for a small group of you, you are dealing with a stalkerish energy, someone that may be obsessed in some level with you, or that is jealous, there's envy there, right? And that's why they're doing it. That's why they're trying to feed off you, because they're envious of what it is that you have or what you do or just who you are as a person, right? There is an element of envy there. Or it's simply that they're obsessed with you. They can't get enough of you, right? So they're just trying to get any kind of energy or attention they can from you. They may be social stalking you, right? Stalking you on social media. They might be, driving around your area sometimes just to see if you're around, particularly if this is someone you know very well and they know where you live. They might be trying to run into you on purpose. Sounds a bit creepy, I know, but I'm getting that for a very small number of you. But for others of you, it's going to be more of a case of that, there's someone specific that you feel like is just leeching off you, that's just bleeding you dry. It could be financially, energetically, emotionally, spiritually. You can apply in so many different ways, to take it however it resonates. For some of you, there will be an element where you may be the person doing this, but I feel like for the majority, whoever this applies to, you are on the receiving end of this, or at least you perceive to be on the receiving end of this, right? Okay, so let's see what the Angelarium deck has to say about all of this. and see what insight, wisdom, knowledge can be bestowed upon us from the Angelarian deck. It's a great deck, by the way. It's one of my newest, or it's my newest oracle deck, actually. And I absolutely adore it. The illustrations are gorgeous. The messaging is on point. It really relates to the Tree of Life system, you know, the structure of the Tree of Life and the represented energies there, as well as certain angels and the archetypal messages that they represent. So very, very, very potent deck to use for these kinds of readings. But as it is new, I will be reading from the booklet itself also to give you more insight, because I'm not familiar with all the cards yet. It's just too soon. I've had it for such a short amount of time. Okay, so what you got here is Tiferet, heart, and that represents beauty. So awesome, what a gorgeous energy. Okay, so let's have a look at that from the Angelarian deck. So yeah, I feel like someone is in awe of you, because there is jealousy involved. There is obsession to some extent involved. Who got the obsession card actually in the Dark Mirror deck? There was a sign that got that. Who was that? Yeah, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, because I know Scorpio energy did come up quite significantly in that reading. So if you are dealing with this energy, I highly recommend cross-watching the Sagittarius shadow reading, because it's very, very on point with this kind of energy that I'm getting. So yeah, do check that out when you have time, the Sagittarius reading, for information on the flip side of this, okay? If you feel like you're the one that's experiencing, you know, being preyed upon or leeched off of, or if you feel like someone's feeding off of you, right? Okay, so let's see. Try to find it. Where is... Oh, here it is. Okay, so I'll show you the card while I'm reading this so you can see. Hopefully you can see. So, Tiferet, the sixth emanation, the temperate force that allows the rest of the emanations to coexist in beautiful harmony. Tiferet is without extremes or absolutes. As each other aspect rages around him, he neither yields nor resists. He is the equilibrium that exists between those forces. He is the guiding hand that braces against the many aspects of the tree to gracefully bring them toward one another. The yellow orb brings balance to the universe. Forming the midpoint between Keter and Malkuth, he defines the pillar of balance. At the glowing center of the tree and at the midpoint between all of its relationships, he distributes energy from each emanation back across his paths. It's a careful balancing act, incorporating such extreme opposites, but this is the nature of the tree as a whole. Tiferet mirrors the structure of the tree, existing as a microcosm of the whole, found in art, health, and community, right? So this is it. So this might be very well why you're dealing with this kind of energy, you know, the parasitic energy, because of what you do, what you bring to the table. You may be an artist, you may be very creative, you may be, you know, a model or an influencer, because it represents beauty as well. Community, right? So you could be an influencer, you could be a model, you could be an artist, a muse, you know, a musician, someone of the arts, possibly, of some description, you know, or just the very essence of who you are embodies that creative aspect and inner beauty, as well as you may have a lot of admirers for your physical appearance as well, right? So whoever is of this energy may be jealous of the fact that you have all of these traits, that you're well sought after, that you're highly regarded in your field, right? Maybe you live the life that they want. Maybe you are, or maybe they feel like they are entitled to you in some way. If it is you know, a physical obsession, you know, attraction, if they're sexually attracted to you or wanting a romantic kind of connection, they may harbor some very toxic feelings around that, but they feel like they should be the one that's worthy of being with you or something like that. I know it might sound ridiculous to you, but you'll be surprised. People do harbor those kinds of feelings, right? And I feel like that's what you're kind of dealing with right now. Someone who is of that energy. If it's not, wanting to be with you or anything like that, this person is jealous of the skills you have, the talents you have, the inner circles you have, the connections, the fan base, the following, the people that appreciate your work, the support you have, right? And they want that for themselves, okay? Or they might simply be obsessed with trying to get your attention as a whole, because then it validates what they're doing, or it validates their opinions, right? They might try and argue with you, right, just to get a rise out of you, so they know that they're validated by your response. I know that sounds weird as well, but some people do that, okay? So it can apply in different ways. Just take it however it resonates for you. And I feel like for some of you, this might be someone you know very well. For others of you, this might be someone you don't know at all. This might be someone that's just been stalking you online, that you have no idea who they are. Some of you might have grown up with this person. You might have went to school together and you didn't realize they've been keeping close tabs on you all this time. It might be someone that you used to date, you know. It can apply in so many different ways. So, this could be someone you were once friends with. It could even be a family member, that's jealous of your achievements because you're doing what they never could, or, just take it however it resonates. Wow, okay, so I just pulled a card from the Moonology deck, and you'll never guess what come up. You got Work Through Your Fears, New Moon in Scorpio. So that's very interesting, okay? So New Moon in Scorpio, this is your sign, Scorpio. So this is a new beginning. This is a breakthrough. This is cutting through, your fears, your concerns, your feelings of not being good enough, right? So this situation might be coming up to show you, like, listen, if you are the one that's jealous of someone else, you have everything that it takes to move forward. You have the skills. You need to just keep moving forward. Don't worry about what other people are doing, what they're telling you should do, how they're trying to make you feel like they're better than you and you need to imitate them in some ways. You don't need to do that. You just need to keep moving forward. Whereas with others of you, which I feel like is the majority, where you feel like you're the one the receiving end of this, don't allow this person to rattle your cage. Don't be fearful of this person, okay? Whoever is doing this hasn't got the balls to confront you head on anyway. So it's not worth giving you, feeding into that fear or concern or anxiousness or worry, right? Because soon this person is going to be removed from your field of existence, I feel like, your field of experience, sorry. So whatever's taking place right now with this person, it's coming up for a reason, because it's being purged, right? So whatever toxic situation is playing out with this person, even if you're consciously aware of it and you're feeling the brunt of it in some way, maybe they're harassing you or whatever online, know that it's being handled, okay? So you have nothing to be afraid of. It's being handled. If it gets to the extreme side where you're worried that they might turn up at your house, take action. Take legal action. Contact the police. Do whatever you need to do to ensure your safety. But I feel like, what the universe is trying to tell you here is that you are being taken care of. You just need to face whatever fear this is triggering for you, something that could be deep rooted from your past, right? And that's why it's being manifested in such a way, because you haven't found a healthy way to kind of overcome this kind of energy, because you may have encountered this kind of energy before, but you didn't know how to deal with it, in a way that was going to help you move forward, or that was healthy. You just kind of bottle it to yourself or just hope it would go away. And whereas now you're being given an opportunity to stand your ground, face your fear, know that no one has a right to entrench on your personal space, right, to try and bring you down. So it's like that quote as well. It's like the one that everyone always says all the time, like, what is it? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with this person, you know. Balanced people don't go around tearing each other down. And it's true, you know. It's basically that. That's what you need to keep in mind, that the problem is with this person, not with you, okay? And that there's clearly some healing they need to do and things they need to address so they don't do this anymore, okay? Because there's obviously a reason why they're kind of operating in that energy, right? Because there's things within themselves that seriously needs addressing, needs looking at, so they can heal it within themselves, right? So don't take it personally is what I'm saying. Okay, so yeah, Scorpio, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, as a reading, but I can't predict what's going to come out. It is what it is. If it doesn't resonate with you so far, that's fine. It's not your message. For those of you it is, I'm sorry that is the case, because that is pretty shitty. But as I said, it's being brought to the surface now at this particular time because it's being taken care of. And I feel like you will do what you need to do. That's going to be in the best interest for yourself. And, you know, that's pretty much by the book, really. That's what I'm getting from it. That you're not going to take some drastic steps and take matters into your own hands where you could put yourself in a very precarious position legally or, you know, when it comes to the law. But I feel like you will, you know, get the law involved if that's what it takes, if it gets to that point. But hopefully it won't. Okay. So let's have a look at the tarot now. See what comes up in relation to this message. Gosh, my throat is feeling a bit bad. I was having like heaviness on my chest in the last reading. With the other one, it's my throat. Throat chakra is messing up at the moment. So I feel like, yeah, you may have held back on saying something to this person about it because you were afraid. You're afraid of the consequences, how they would react. Don't be afraid, okay? Don't be afraid. Say what you need to say and take the steps you need to take to make yourself feel at peace and safe, and to know that, you know, you're not allowing this person to continue behaving in this way, you know. So don't hold your tongue, you know, don't do that. Say what you need to say in, you know, in the right way. Not that you really contrive your words, not in that way, but just, you know, come from a place of groundedness and say what needs to be said to assert your position, to create that healthy boundary. That's what I mean, okay? So, first card you got from the Wild Unknown deck was the Sun of Swords. So fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be dealing with any of those signs. Either way, I feel like what is, again, like I said, Sagittarius reading, you know, for those of you you're dealing with the Sagittarius, I recommend checking that out. Moving forward, you are, you know, with the Knight of Wands essentially here, you are tapping into your creativity. You're feeling very confident. I feel like you're gaining momentum in your confidence, inner confidence. You know, I feel like you've done a hell of a lot of work on yourself. You continue to do so. So you've really gained a newfound sense of self-esteem. You know, you're more confident in your abilities, your skills. You feel more attractive. You're seeing that people find you extremely attractive at this time. So that might be a nice little, you know, ego boost for you. But yeah, there's nothing, I don't feel like there's anything crazy with that energy going on here. It's not like egotism. I'm not really getting that, but just like, it just makes you feel good, you know, which is nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you're, otherwise, you know, aside from dealing with this energy, I think you're feeling pretty good. You're feeling very confident, you know, in a new sense, you know, more confident than you have in a while. You're seeing your value, you're seeing your worth, you see what you bring to the table, and you just want to keep moving forward. You just want to keep the momentum going, which is very good, you know, and that's why you've got this card here. You've got the heart, beauty, right? Because your inner light is shining on the surface, and that's what this person can't handle. They see it and they're just like, they either want it for themselves, you know, to have that energy for themselves, or they are so drawn to you because of that, they want to keep it for themselves in that way, right? But otherwise, on your front, on that level, you're doing very good. So bravo, Scorpio. Okay, next card you got was the Mother of Wands in reverse. Okay, so this is the Queen of Wands. You know, fire energy. Strong, strong fire energy on the table so far. So I'm telling you, I wouldn't be surprised for some of you that this is a Sagittarius that you're dealing with. But anyway, with the Mother of Wands, the Queen of Wands in reverse, yeah, this person thinks you're the be all and end all, right? So they're trying to imitate that, or they're trying to dim your light down to make theirs shine brighter, even though that's not how it works, but there you go. Or you don't realize as well that they see you as this, like they don't see you as this energy. They see you as like the be all and end all, right? Like I said, like perfection almost. But you kind of didn't see yourself in that energy at all. I think you saw yourself, you don't see yourself as the Queen of Wands. I think you see yourself currently as the Knight of Wands. You're very passionate, you're a go-getter, you're driven, you're feeling good, you're feeling more confident. But I don't think you see yourself as like, you know, the God's gift to every man or woman or anything like that, or it's like someone that everyone wants to be with, or, you know, someone that's, you know, at the very top of their game, you know. I think you see yourself as someone who is climbing fast and is making waves, you know, who's doing well for themselves, who is very creative, whose skills are growing exponentially at this time. But I don't think you see yourself as at the top of your field yet, right? And maybe you have a little bit of fear surrounding that as well. Like, oh, I know I'm doing well. I know I'm building a really strong community. I have a lot of support, right, for whatever it is that I'm doing. But I'm afraid, what if I can't get to where I want to get? I'm already grateful for the fact that I've managed to achieve this much, or do that much, or start this project. But what if I don't get to where I want to get? What if that's beyond my scope, right? And it's important to know that it isn't beyond your scope at all, right? So don't feed into that fear, because you'll surprise yourself. If you carry on with this confidence, with this drive, you're going to surprise yourself. Who knows where it will lead, right? So don't feed into that doubt. You have no reason to doubt yourself at this point, because you've already exceeded your own expectations. And I feel like this is just the beginning, right? And the next card you have is the Two of Cups in reverse. So water energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, could be relevant to whoever you're dealing with. Either way, this is also your energy here, Scorpio. I feel like, yeah, this person you're dealing with, more of you than not, this is someone who maybe had a crush on you for a long time and never told you. Maybe someone who came across you and was instantly infatuated, or was someone that you were with in the past, right? But you're not together anymore. So it's going to be different for each and every one of you, but I feel like with the Two of Cups in reverse here, this is someone that, for the most part, does have some kind of fixation on being with you in some capacity, right? That's what I'm getting from this. But it didn't quite come together, or they never initiated anything, or they knew there was no chance of that happening. Maybe they tried before, but you refused their advances. Or maybe they simply know that there's no way in hell it'll ever happen, right? Okay. Someone's trying to win your heart over, or someone wants to win your heart over, but they don't think they can. And I feel like this is the only thing they have to get into your energy, which is really toxic, by the way, and not what you want. But it's showing that there's obviously, it's what it's doing as well, as much as it's triggering your shadow and some of your fears with being controlled or feeling like you're being overwhelmed by someone else's energy, someone leeching off you, someone trying to overpower you in some way, trying to keep you in a box, you know, have you on display, you know, it's a pretty little doll or whatever, regardless of gender. You know, I feel like, you know, as much as it's triggering your shadow, it's revealing theirs as well. It's showing the things within themselves that has not been healed, right? So that's something to be aware of, that as much as it might be triggering the hell out of you right now, it more than anything, it's revealing the parts of themselves that need addressing. Okay. So let's go into the clarifications now. Sorry, this reading might be a little bit longer than the others because there was just a lot of energy here with this reading. There's a lot going on here. And I think it's important that you get these messages because I know that dealing with this kind of energy and this kind of situation is not easy. So I want to make sure you're as equipped as you can be to deal with this, okay? So in regards, I mean, not that you're not, of course you're well equipped, but you know, just to give you an extra hand, really, a little bit of help along the way or assistance or some guidance. But anyway, let's get into it. So in regards to the Sun of Wands, so the Knight of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups in reverse. Okay, more water energy, your energy as well as Cancer and Pisces. So you could be dealing with a fellow water sign. Regardless, I feel like with this being here, it's a case of, yeah, you're feeling very driven, you're feeling very good. You don't feel like, I don't feel like there's anything you're having to really take a deep look at in regards to introspective work because you've been doing it for some time now. So anything that's playing out on that level, it's just you continuing on that path. You've already kind of detached yourself from a situation that you found emotionally draining in order to get further insight and clarity on where the drainage lies, you know, and what you need to do to propel yourself forward, to heal, to get back into your power. So that's where your focus has been on, and you're doing that. However, I feel like this situation is kind of serving as a test for you to see how you do when presented with a similar energy, right? Maybe very different circumstances, but how you respond now that you're in a different state of being, right? So that's interesting to know. And the only reason the universe would even do that is to help you to realize that you have grown, that you have changed, that you are very much capable of dealing with this situation, right? So clarifying the Queen of Wands in reverse, you have the Four of Wands in reverse. So a lot of fire energy here. Yeah, this person wants to build with the wrong tools, essentially. That's what I feel like. This person wants to build a life with you with the wrong tools. They're utilizing the wrong tools to try and make that happen. So it's not coming together. They're not manifesting their wish. But they keep trying anyway. And the more I feel like the more that this manifestation eludes them, the more they feed into it and the more it draws their attention, the more obsessed they become with it, right? And the more out of balance and out of their power they become. So it's like they're surrendering all self-control in order to try and make this happen. And I think energetically you're feeling that, and that's what's rattling your shadow, okay? That's what's bringing this fear for you because you're feeling it energetically, but consciously you're not aware of exactly what's taking place. You might be aware that this person keeps trying to contact you, they keep harassing you or whatever, but I don't think you fully grasp the extent of it. But you're feeling it energetically, and that's why you're concerned. That's why you're worried, because you're not sure what's up this person's sleeve. And you're scared a little bit, you know, because you're like, I don't know what this person's capable of at this time, even if it's someone you know very well. Because it's not a behavior or an energy you expected to see from them, right, necessarily. If it's someone that you don't really know or don't know at all, then it's completely unknown. So that's understandable where that fear comes in. But it's important to know that anything they try and do to try and enforce their will upon you will not work, okay? That it's not what you've manifested, it's not what you're building, it's not of your energy. It just simply doesn't align, so it can't come together, okay? So you have nothing to fear on that level. And then finally, in regards to the Two of Cups in reverse, you have the Two of Pentacles. So that's interesting. You've got the Two of Cups in the reverse, and then you've got the Two of Pentacles in the upright. So yeah, this person is, okay. So they're kind of, I think on some level, at least energetically, they know that what they're doing is damaging to themselves and to you and to anyone else that's affiliated with not the connection. I keep going to say the connection, but possibly. But anyone that's kind of tied into this situation, right? So they're kind of like, they're like, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. But then they can't help themselves, and they'll see something you post or something you said or hear your voice, see your picture, and then they'll just go straight back into that energy again. You know, so it's like they're very imbalanced right now. Their energy is all over the place. And it comes from not a place of love, but obsession. It comes from infatuation. It comes from the wanting to dominate or wanting to, to have hold of, to keep it for themselves, to hoard, right? It's like hoarding, wanting to hoard your energy for themselves, right? So it's very selfish in that way. But I think they are coming to that realization that it's not healthy, and they're starting to realize that it's making them become this energy. It's making them turn into this parasitic, you know, kind of like a psychic vampire kind of energy, you know. And they're realizing that. They're realizing like, oh my God, what am I becoming? Like, this is not healthy. This is not normal. You know, this is not how I am. This is not who I am. So I need to do something about this. Like, why am I so fixated on this? Or why am I so obsessed with this person? Or why am I so jealous of what they bring to the table? You know, they have the perfect life, perfect partner, you know, perfect job. They look amazing. But why am I so fixated on what someone else is doing? Why am I not paying more attention to what I need to do, you know? It's that kind of thing. So yeah, it's a lot to digest, I know, but Scorpio, you need to understand that this is nothing to do with you. I know it seems like it is because it's very fixated, it's centered on you, but it's not. There's nothing you can do with this energy, okay, other than, you know, stand your ground, create the boundaries, you know, express them, you know, as articulately and you know, in the most wise way possible. And, you know, if you have to take legal action, then do it if it comes to that. But hopefully it shouldn't, and it won't. But if it does, then do what you need to do to ensure your safety. But I don't feel like, for the most part, it will come to that. Just you simply, you know, standing your, you know, expressing your position and standing your ground. You know, forming very clear boundaries with this person. I think that's going to be enough to give them a little bit of a wake-up call. And even if they are argumentative and don't admit it immediately, they'll have no choice but to mull it over in their free time, okay? So I hope that puts your mind at ease a little bit. I know these are not easy energies to deal with, but I promise you it's not going to remain like this, okay? This is why this is being brought to the surface, because it's being purged, it's being taken care of, you know, right now. So hopefully that brings you some comfort. Do let me know your thoughts about this, if it applies to you. If you found this helpful, do give it a thumbs up. And yeah, feel free to subscribe for, you know, more insights, more readings coming up very soon. I will be doing the new moon in Cancer reading very, very soon. So I do recommend checking that out, because that's going to be quite a potent one for you as well, I believe, Scorpio being water sign. So yeah, we'll have a look and see if anything comes up there that will be helpful for you and in regards to this. And yeah, but just for now, take care of yourself. I'm sending you so much love and protection. You know, don't worry, the universe has got your back. I've got your back. You know, you will be safe. And yeah, I'll speak to you guys soon. Bye.